Mike Galime, President of Utica Common Council. So, talk about a lot of things came out of the county executive's state of the county. Mm-hmm. One of them included this, and I believe it's not just a loan, but the casino sports complex, that sports entertainment zone, adding maybe a craft beer museum as well. What are your thoughts on all that?
I'm still trying to digest the casino idea right now, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I just want to say something completely abstract to start off the conversation. Over the course of my lifetime, I really think that the role of government in general, whether it's county, state, or federal, has become, trying to figure out the word, but a bit perverse over the past 40 years. I think that economic development is touted by the government right now too much, just across the board. I really want to see people supporting private industries, private enterprise, free market, and this is just one of those things where I think some of it touches on that. I do want to give you my opinion on the actual casino, but to me, having the government officials step in front of this instead of the actual private entities is interesting.
Can I just say though? I mean, then you're for the casino because the Oneidas are the only ones right now that have the cash to build it. I mean, they'd be able to build it. That would be their money.
And that's a good point, right? Yeah. But why are the Oneidas not the ones making the announcement? Why are they not the ones standing in front of this right now? That's what I'm concerned with. This is a county planned initiative,
right?
And
I think there'd have to be. Okay, all right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And you know what else I believe is that Anthony Pisani's the county executive. He can set the policy of the county. This is his initiative,
right?
Okay, but it's one way to do it. It's definitely one way to do it. But as far as the casino, I've got some opinions on the actual idea.
Okay, because I'm going back. I have to go back to this. Your abstract point is even more abstract because the one operation that has the money to come in and do it is the Oneida Nation.
And it seems like the matching pair to this is our tax dollars. When you say county initiative, when you say anything with the government, okay, the government's not a for-profit industry. It's funded by our tax dollars. So anytime something like this happens and the government's involved, it's our tax dollars pairing up with it.
I didn't realize we were going to get philosophical today, but at the end of the day, over $1 billion.
That's what happens when you have Mike Galime.
After
right?
$1 billion, over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, over $1 billion in New York State tax money has been pushed into this region. Are you against that money coming in?
At this point, we're still cautiously hopeful for all the benefits of that $1 billion.
Well, one of them is the arterial.
We'll see that.
The hospital we don't know about.
All right, arterial, perfect example of something that is benefiting the community. That is an example of something the government should be involved with.
All right.
Okay, that's supporting the backdrop of infrastructure that the private enterprises can take advantage of and create real economic development.
Do you know that there is tax money tied to this casino?
No, and that's the other problem.
I don't think
vague.
That there is.
It's very vague, but the county is going to create a sports authority. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to still digest how all these parts fit together. When this was discussed in the turmoil of the apartment,
debacle,
we'll call it. Many people were on the air talking about arts and entertainment and family entertainment and how we need something else for our kids to do. And that's when this was really announced. Maybe that was just them not really fully understanding what the real initiative was back then.
That whole
a
thing
casino is
south.
not family entertainment.
That whole thing went south between the mayor and
right.
Rob Esch.
Let's not even worry about that whole situation because that's not the point. My point is this idea has been floated for some time now, and it's been
the casino idea.
No, the whole idea of having something there to do with the odd expanding. But now we know what it is. It's been announced. That's my point.
Well, I'm not sure that this has always been the plan, and now it's finally being realized and revealed. But I kind of feel that there has been some talk over the years about doing a sports entertainment down there and kind of making that the district. And the Comets certainly have inspired
great things down there.
Yeah. Manaski.
Yeah. What, as a council president?
Okay.
I know you're a tiebreaker.
Yes.
your tiebreaker vote. But as a council president, what would you like to see down there? The apartment idea fell through.
Oh, but that's not even that's a private enterprise that wanted to do something, and that's neither here nor there.
So is Turning Stone, though.
Yeah.
And Ash too, for that matter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Money, state money would be involved.
So that is my point. I want why are they not standing for, where are they right now to make this announcement? I want to see
Don't
the
you
private
think it's a
enterprise
little
behind that.
Don't you think it's a little early? You're confusing me today. Don't you think it's a little early?
You're being obtuse, Bill.
For that.
I think we're all being obtuse, right?
Don't you think it's a little early though? For
now you're being acute.
I mean, the county executive is throwing this out there, and when he said, casino, sports, entertainment needs to be involved there, along with maybe a craft beer museum,
right?
All of that's going to end up being state money. But the one thing that the county executive said is, in order for this to fly, it's got to be all of it put together, not just one, and not just the casino, not just the beer museum. All of it needs to come collectively in order for it to work. But isn't that really the role of the county executive in the state of the county? It happens in the state of the union, it happens in the state of the state, and it happens in the state of the county.
Well, I guess
the county executive comes out, and sometimes it's pie in the sky, but the county executive comes out and makes a proposal, and then it's discussed like we're doing right now.
You're the one who just called it pie in the sky, but
I'm saying I didn't call that pie in the sky. Let me finish. I said that. I shut your mic off. Hold on. Listen, let me finish. I said sometimes the proposals are pie in the sky, and from the feds all the way down to our local governments, and that is true. I'm not saying necessarily that this is necessarily pie in the sky, but anyway, I just needed to make that clarification.
Point being is, in all seriousness, as a city official, we don't know what the real ramifications of this are right now. We don't know all of it. It's a little vague. I don't know what's going to be taxpayer funded. I don't know what's going to be private funded. I do know that there is private enterprise right now operating inside of the Aud Authority. And, there's just creating an authority for shared services between, say, different sports and arts and venues in the Utica and greater Utica area, like Capitol Theater, Stanley Theater, Murnane Field, a lot of those things, so that you could kind of really pool the resources to make those more efficient to run.
Yeah,
I think that's a great initiative.
All right.
Okay, that is something that the county is good at doing. Okay, they've proven themselves time and time again with shared services and consolidation at this point. All of the things except for the casino idea, I think we were all kind of ready for. More ice rinks, more expansion, bigger venues so that we could do bigger concerts. All that stuff we'd already just seen the light coming on that because of what the Comets have done. But putting a casino in downtown Utica has a different subject matter to me that brings up, and it's a whole different situation now where it's not just an arts and entertainment district. Putting gaming in downtown Utica is something that people need to seriously think about, and there's a lot of people that I've come to respect that want to see it.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be critical of it, but it's gaming. In downtown Utica.
Gaming
already. And I am critical of
gaming is already in downtown Utica. I don't know if you've realized. And I'm not talking about the ones that are way underground. I'm talking about right there in your convenience stores, from OTB to the lottery and all of this. This is what's going on in New York right now, and I'm not sure that we've realized it.
There's gaming
until now. Is that this is they're applying the OTB concept to casinos. And that's these little casinos are now popping up, and some are bigger than others, but they're popping up all over. It's the philosophy that was used years ago with OTB. There's an OTB in every county, and everybody's got an OTB. The same thing really seems to be happening with casinos.
And don't you think that having maybe the Oneida Nation down there and more of a presence is beneficial to our area? I mean, we've seen the benefits of them being a huge sponsor for the AHL All-Star Game. That with them down there, that opens up more opportunity for the city.
There's no doubt in my mind that the Oneida Indian Nation has a large, wealth that they can help this area with, and they have. Because they've gone, if you go on their website, if you go on the actual nation, their enterprises, they've gone above and beyond gaming. They have marketing firms. They have places on the Salmon River. They have places everywhere that create jobs and are, private funding streams, if you will. But a county planned initiative with the Oneida Indian Nation putting a casino in downtown Utica is something we need to take pause on. I want to say, look, this is the county executive's, state of the county address. He's rolling out his policy that he wants to set. We should consider that. But with respect to a casino, I believe it brings a different availability of I don't know how to I don't want to put a negative light on the gaming, but there's only one way I can look at it. Yeah. It's the gaming downtown in a larger sense, not like OTB or some, you're buying tickets at a gas station. This is going to be a haven for gambling.
Yeah.
It's gaming is a really nice way to say gambling.
So you feel that it would be bad? I'm trying to take and put it all in a nutshell.
Well, it's just going to change the face of everything. Right now, downtown Utica is someplace where my daughter meets me for lunch. We go out after. We go to see Sesame Street live. Granted, there's all these different little areas, but if the initiative and direction downtown Utica is going to take is gambling, it's
I don't
changing.
think it's specifically just that.
So you're clearly you seem to be.
I'm definitely standoffish with gambling.
It's been abstract.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
No, but that's
been abstract coming through this here.
But
But I've gotten you to the point where you're definitely against the casino downtown.
Look, if you want to, you can nail me down on something for once, Bill.
Okay.
I don't.
Awesome.
Look.
So you're against
just because I'm against it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It doesn't mean it's not an idea that if it went through, I wouldn't work with if that's what, as a community, we decided was going to happen. But the reality is, me. I'm not speaking for the council right now. This is you're talking to me.
Yeah.
And I really don't.
You don't want a casino downtown.
Very uncomfortable with the fact that there's going to be gaming downtown.
All right. It took us a while to get there, but we're there. We are there.
Not that anyone cares what I think, but I would say
I do.
I
don't want to know what you think.
I don't think I'm to say that I'm against gaming in downtown Utica, but I took pause with that idea. That is a new idea. It's something we haven't had before. I think that's a fair concern. Like, what are we doing? What does this open up the gate to? Is this going to be the only one? How does it change the dynamics of downtown?
And I think
it's a fair concern.
I think you have to also take a look at what has slowly happened, what the governor's plan really is, because it's the governor that's really allowing for, our legislature as well, that's allowing for these casinos to pop up. But, first of all, the Oneidas can put anywhere they have land, they can pop up casinos left and right without any.
They're right.
They do not have to have any permission as long as it's on their land, which is sovereign. And
but they must need permission here.
They do here. It would be different because they'd have to have land that would be transferred into the trust. But out in Madison County, this one that's popping up.
Well, and that's my point. I think
Bridgeport. They can just build it. They don't need permission.
I think having the Oneida Indian Nation build gaming facilities and casinos, which are fabulous, facilities on their own land because they can is one thing, and then it's a destination. We go there. But having our government officials who we elect and our tax dollars, our government system.
Well, we don't know.
Working with them. I don't know.
You're muddying it up there because
I
we don't
feel like
know.
I'm muddying it up, but that's my problem is how does this work in downtown Utica?
We don't know what the details would be and any tax dollars involved. We don't know any of that. But ultimately, I did get you to say
I don't mean tax
you don't
want
like
budgetary.
You don't want a casino downtown, period, no matter who's paying for it.
I just unless. Well, the problem is, what's the plan right now? How's it going to work? And that's where I wanted to get to. That's why I'm vague. I don't like. I feel like it wouldn't fit. But here's
you wavering now? So you'd be okay depending on the deal.
I'm not wavering, and here's why. Here's my problem with this. Right? Okay. Go back 3-4 weeks. There was an announcement in the paper. They talked about the address. What the paper had was a map. They had a map of downtown Utica in the vicinity of the auditorium. Mm-hmm. They had a dotted line around a vague map of area around the auditorium. And what bothered me was they didn't put any of the actual businesses in that map, except for the Tartan building, Audelicious, which isn't Audelicious anymore. It has another person who's actually opening it up.
That's true.
And I believe they had PJ Green on the map.
Okay.
Okay, they had a big dotted line. Very vague. 130,000 subscribers. They look at that. What's in this map? Oh, nothing. Well, let's let the county do that. Well, that was Davis Media. That was Smith Packing. That was, A&P Master Images. So this idea gets dropped on the community via the media. And, okay, that was my reaction. Like, why isn't everybody else in this picture already right in the paper? Okay, this is my, account, direct account. How am I reacting to this? Okay, then a couple weeks later, there's the editorial, I believe, or it was an hour review or something with
an OD editorial?
The county executive, yes.
Okay. And
I read that, and I'll tell you, I got to the second page, literally yelled out loud, 10 acres. Because all of a sudden, and that was my initial thing, okay, is this the same situation where it's vague and they don't know what they're taking and this and that, and it's okay, all right. He wants to put a casino, beer museum, okay, let's see where he's going with this. But then that dotted line now has 10 acres paired with it.
Yeah.
So what is the 10 acres? There's land down there, but the problem is this is going to be vague.
Or abstract. I like the word abstract.
This is going to be an abstract idea.
Enjoyed the word abstract.
This is going to be an abstract idea until it's a done deal.
Right. That's true. Like everything else.
Like everything else.
Like the hospital deal is not completely done yet.
And I want to see private enterprise flourish in Utica, New York. And it's very difficult for private enterprise and small business and actual, new business ideas to just start up.
Is it really, though? Let me say this.
I think it is.
Let's say this. Is it that difficult for a private industry to come in to Utica and say, I want to build a new factory in Utica and I want to provide all these jobs? Who is the private industry coming in? Who are they?
That's the problem. You always, who's the alternative? Who's the alternative?
But the door is open. What I'm saying is
the door is open unless you want to locate in downtown Utica anywhere within 25 acres. Okay. And now there's questions.
Unless you want an asphalt plant. Were you for the asphalt plant down in that location?
I question the fact that it was on the water.
Yeah, okay. A little rough.
Yeah,
and the apartment thing went south because should apartments go back in where apartments?
Like I said, but here's the problem though.
They pulled out. That was They pulled out.
Why are we talking about the apartments? That whole thing. That was a jet.
Well, I'm staying with your abstract theme this morning.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. All
right, I am out of time.
All right, we're out of time.
Wrap it up.
Bottom line is, we need to see more. We need to know how this is going to work.
All right,
and we should know how it works before everything is done.
Can I just one thought on that? And Tony's said this before and actually been criticized for this before, even with the merger of Herkimer and MV. He uses this state of the county as an opportunity to kind of make a splash, put it out there, see how people react. So I'm not shocked that we don't know actually the mechanics of how it works. Waters. But he just threw it out there.
First of all, you would never know because that's what the state of the county is. The details aren't put together; it's being thrown out there.
Exactly.
Manaski's right. We're not at that point yet.
Hey, you brought me in for my opinion. You got it.
Hey, it took me a while. I felt like I was a dentist pulling teeth, but I got there. You were against the casino going downtown.
Yeah. My political critique is above and beyond local politics. That's why I have trouble talking about some of this stuff because I just see a whole different role for government, and it's the original role that government
corporate
had.
welfare. You feel that it's just, and this is a problem that we have. We were just talking about.
It's a circle of public money right now.
The problem is that if we don't do it, then Alabama does. That's how Alabama.
Yes. And that's the Hunger Games.
The competition that we're all. And by the way, speaking of Hunger Games, even the governor divvies out money. It's like a competition. You got to compete for
it interferes with the private sector. If you want to have me back on and talk about that, I got all kinds of stuff.
All right, Mike Galime, President of Utica Common Council. Abstract.
Abstract
is the word of the day.